In this video, I want to talk about the option parts I choose to run on my Schumacher Mi8, and I also want to explain you why I choose to run them. But first, let's have a closer look at the chassis. So one of the things I changed going from the kit is I like to run brass screws in the lower chassis. And Schumacher provides some steel screws, which is fine. I just like the brass screws to lower the center of gravity even more. They are weaker than steel, so you need to take care of that. With a large hit, they can break easier than a steel screw. However, I choose to run them, so I'm going to put them in the motor mount. I'm also going to run them on the suspension arms. Schumacher provides some alloy screws for use on the suspension arms. So with a hard hit, you won't tear your chassis down, but you will break a screw, which is way cheaper than a new chassis. Um, I choose to run brass screws also in that spot. They break as easy as alloy, but are a lot heavier, so they will lower the center of gravity. The other thing I choose to run is a genuine hop-up option. I run the titanium balls, and for the active rear toe, they will ask you to put some balls or heads on the bulkhead, and I choose to run the titanium lower ball studs. Um, it's just a nice shiny part, and it's a bit stronger than the steel ones. It's also bit smoother than the steel ones, so I like to run these. Another option I really like on my Schumacher Mi8 are these titanium rear axle drive shafts. Um, I never had any failure with the kit steel axles. However, the titanium axles are lighter and are stronger and also really shiny on the car. Maybe that's the main reason why I buy them. I used them on my car. I even used them on the Mi7. And building or rebuilding these drive shafts, I can advise to use a brand new 1.5 millimeter tip on your screwdriver. Schumacher put some Loctite on the factory on them. Also on this pin, you need to pop the blade on. Um, Make sure you just heat it up a bit with a lighter or something else so the Loctite will get a bit soft. Use a brand new 1.5 millimeter tip, and then you can build or rebuild them. Even if you choose to run these titanium axles, I would advise on using a brand new tip and heating them up a bit. Looking at the front drive shafts, I like to use the alloy double joint drive shaft. These are made of alloy. Standard, they're steel. So the alloy ones will be lighter and will have less rotating mass, and therefore I choose to run them. They also will wear a bit quicker than the steel ones, which is quite nice. So I can only change the faster wearing part, which is the tube then, the alloy tube then. So that will keep the pins and all the other steel parts in a better shape. Another option I like to use are the alloy radius arms from Schumacher. Looking at the steering rack, they have some plastic arms, and the rack itself it's alloy, but the arms are still made of plastic. I don't have any problem with these, I just don't like the look of them. I like the look of these slim alloy arms a lot more, and let's be honest, that's the reason why I run them. Building the steering rack, you have to make sure that you see the difference in balls. One of the balls is bigger than the other, and that bigger ball needs to be mounted on top of the steering rack. And you can see the difference, the ball has a longer neck, so if you don't see the difference, this will have an effect on the Ackerman setting of your car, which will make it feel different on the track. Building the top arms from the Mi8, I'm choosing three different options. I'm choosing both the alloy optional upper link pivots. These are black, so they fit the car nicely, and they're a really cheap upgrade and don't cost that much. But I also choose to run the Eclipse ball sockets. I choose to run them because they're a tiny bit lighter, and when building the Mi7, they provided the black ball cups, and the black ball cups gave quite a bit of play when they were new. And the play on the camber and the toe links was just a bit harder to set the toe in the camber. So on the Mi7 we already changed to the Eclipse ball cups to have less play, and they are a bit lighter. Well, Schumacher upgraded the ball cups, and the kit ball cups are now grey, and when you've put them on the car you can feel there's hardly any to no play anymore. However, I still choose to run these Eclipse ball cups because they are a tiny bit lighter than the kit versions. Building the front bumper, I'm gonna add two more options. The first one is the lightweight foam bumper. I'm gonna add it because it's a bit lighter than the kit bumper. It's not much, just a couple of grams, but it's at the most outer point of the car, so it will have an effect on the car when it's moving. And I'm also gonna add the carbon upper bumper brace. However, this one I'm gonna salvage off of my Schumacher Mi7. I already ran it there. I also ran the lightweight foam bumper. So I'm gonna take it off and put it on my Schumacher Mi8. So the last few parts I salvaged off of my Mi7 are the alloy hub carriers. I run the alloy hub carriers at the back. Due to it being a bit more unsprung mass, they tend to give a little bit more rear traction. I had them on my Mi7, so I now converted them to my Mi8. The other part is the alloy spring seat, the alloy spring retainer. I already had these on my Mi6. I converted them to my Mi6 Evo, to my Mi7, and now to my Mi8. It's not really a necessary part. It's even heavier than the kit part, the grey plastic ones. However, I like it and it's shiny and I already had it, so I just put it on my Mi8. I showed you the option parts I like to use. And I must be honest, it's a personal preference. It's not a factory or a theme spec. If you look at the ETS pictures or at the setup sheets, you can see the team is running the car close to box stock. But I like the option parts and I choose to run them on my car.